From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big night of evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. I have the incredible great news about when you're going to get it, how much you're going to get it, who's eligible for this fourth stimulus check. This fourth stimulus check is the biggest payout you ever see in the history of this channel. It's monthly, and it starts in the month of July, and it goes month after month. We can compare the House plan versus the Senate plan in lieu of the breaking news that developed today. Yes, there was surprising news across the board, and not one, but three economic numbers that make people's heads spin. But it had nothing that would impair your push for the fourth stimulus. A two-bill, two-month, two-step process. We go over the incredible great news in lieu of the breaking news today. Then we turn to fifth stimulus. It's the bill that would change your life, increase your benefits across the board. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits across the board. A brand new number, a lifetime. I have the incredible great news for you, and thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars, a part of a $350 billion payout, is landing in your bank accounts this week. I'll go over the incredible news you get right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, and these details happening right now, this evening, as we get to the finish line together on Evenings LALATE. Beautiful, warm, crisp evening across the land. This is Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check. The monthly stimulus check that starts in the month of July and continues all the way through at least December. In this recording, we go over this monthly stimulus check of the fourth stimulus package update of 2021 today. We go over how much it pays, when you're going to get it, who gets it, and more. Easy breezy. I'll make it fun, entertaining, and very easy for you to follow. Then we'll go cut back to fifth stimulus. That is the incredible relief coming this fall that would change your life benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits, increasing your benefits across the board. This is the relief that will change a lifetime. And then we cut to the incredible great news of thousands of dollars landing in your bank account this week. How do you get it? What do you do? And which part of it is automatic and which is not? And then we gauge all this developing details in lieu of the breaking news that developed today. The Consumer Price Index released this morning, and I'll say why that Consumer Price Index and the gas numbers and the new data about college student debt is really surprising. Let's get to the breaking news. But first, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week financial news channel, bringing you Wall Street to Main Street, crypto to stimulus, everything you need to know to go forward with your feet on the ground, financially stable during this economy. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Let's get right to the numbers. Fourth stimulus is the biggest single payout you ever see in the history of the channel, and there's a House plan and a Senate plan. The House plan proposes the first month to be $2,000 and then $1,000 thereafter. But if you're in the live chat, get ready to type House or Senate, but not just yet. Don't vote yet. Let's compare the two plans. The House plan will provide you a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. So let's say the pandemic has 4 more months to it. You would get 4 months plus 1 year, 16 months of stimulus checks. The Senate plan in turn provides stimulus checks from now to December. So about 6 months of stimulus checks starting the month of July. But before you're ready to vote, based upon the number of checks, let's look at the amount of each check. The House plan proposes that the stimulus checks would be $1,000 after the first month, and the Senate plan proposes the stimulus checks would be an amount unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Wow, wow, wow is all I can say. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person. You're looking at the individual payout here. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. All right, if you're in the live chat watching this shortly after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, drop in the comments, Senate or House. Senate or House? Do you like the Senate plan that pays you a larger amount short term, or the House plan that pays you a larger amount long term? And now let's get to the incredible great details so you're up to date about how the forced stimulus works. A two-bill, two-month, two-step process that starts now. It's currently in the subcommittees writing the reconciliation language and out to a vote. Ultimately, I'm a news reporter. I am not a legislator. I just report to you what's going on. I don't write the legislation. But they represent that the bill be voted upon by July 4th, so that means the following. First, when would you get the check? In the month of July. For which month? The month of July. The next month would be August. Would there be waves of checks? No, there could not be waves of checks because these are monthly stimulus checks. They couldn't send them out in ways. Is it taxable? No, it's not income. Would it disqualify me from something else? No, it would not. How long does this take? Two-bill, two-month, two-step process. And when would we finally see the final resolution? The final day is right before it's finally voted upon. Ultimately, this is the credible relief that you need, and the question then is, who is you? What's the eligibility for it? Same as the third stimulus check. So, if you make less than $75,000 individual, that's you. You get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. SSI or SSDI, Social Security or Railroad benefits or veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. How about households, 4 or less? So quadruple the check. If there's 4 people in the household, married couple, double the check. Is the amount of the check for the child and the adult dependent the same? They are all the same. Congratulations. That is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. But guess what? I got really shocking economic breaking news today that I will go over that impacts your fourth stimulus tangentially and not collaterally, but not directly on point. It's very important because it shows what the president's doing for stimulus is general. And you'll be seeing during this recording, I'm going to be separating stimulus checks, that instrument, from other stimulus like FPUC, which is coming under fire. So different items of stimulus, you're going to see that explanation coming up later in the second half of this recording. Also in the second half of this recording, let me give you a preview of what's coming up. I'll be going over fifth stimulus. What is fifth stimulus? Let me give you a preview right now of what's coming up in the second half of this recording. This is a big 30-minute block of information. So get a pen and paper ready. I always recommend viewers to have a pen and paper ready when they're watching my shows because there's so much information. I don't want you to miss a single thing across the board, and because you may have to take notes to bring to someone else, namely a tax preparer. So fifth stimulus heats up this fall. Again, mirrors the fourth stimulus package, a two-bill, two-month, two-step process. Starts in September and then out the door. What does it provide? It provides SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, reforms. This is absolutely categorically incredible how it would work, how much money you're going to get, when you're going to get the money. It's coming up in the second half of this recording. All right, now let's cut to money right now. You've seen that coming up in the second half of this recording is September money. You've seen that fourth stimulus is July money. Let's go over money right now. This is incredible great news. It's been confirmed by the Department of Treasury. It's been confirmed by the Department of Labor, and it confirms my reporting. Let's go one at a time, each of them. The first one is nearly all of you. If you make less than $75,000, this is you. When we passed third stimulus in January this year, I said to you that the biggest enchilada, the biggest tamale of the third stimulus is this amount of money, but wait for it. And that became the word Purple Hawk, where I said, Hawk, you need to get the money, but you need to be prepared for what I call a stimulus stampede, that people will rush to get the money before you because this is the last ride at the rodeo. All right, let's go to the incredible first item. Yes, this is for all of you, especially if you're on benefits, if you make like $75,000. It is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance. Let's get this money starting right now. How do you get it? So the rent is 4 to 6 months of rent, about $5,000. You get it 6 places. I hope you have that pen ready. Those 6 places are your city hall, your city housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority, and your county hall and your county housing authority. Let's say that again. City hall, city housing authority, county hall, county housing authority, state hall, state housing authority. If you get no at one of them, you go to the next one until you get a yes. This is incredible great news. This is third stimulus. They've had money there before from first and second. This is third stimulus. So you're asking for Biden stimulus, third stimulus, American Economic Recovery Act, money for rent because of COVID. You're asking specifically for money rent. Sometimes when you don't use simple words like money rent, they don't know what you're talking about. So keep it very simple. If you call up and say, hi, I want some stimulus, they may think you want a stimulus check from them. So keep it very simple. Calling up a housing department saying, I need money for my rent. Very easy. Why do you need money for my rent? Because I'm behind on my bills and that bill was passed, the American Recovery Act. I want to go get it. The money is landing this week, last week, and next week, so go get it. It is incredible, great news, but guess what? I got more money on top of that. It is the homeowner's assistance. It is money for mortgages and mortgage utility bills. Then we turn to SNAP. What is SNAP? Department of Agriculture, 211. Call up 211 or call up Department of Agriculture and get this money. This is if you are making less than a certain amount of money, generally about the same amount as a stimulus check, go out and get it right away. How much money can get a family of four in Hawaii is now getting upwards of $16,000 a year. Yes, this is money for your food. This is money for your food. And it's absolutely incredible. Imagine a family of four in Hawaii now getting upwards of $16,000. Look at this. We're 10 minutes into this video, and I've covered $16,000 for food, $5,000 for rent. We're at $21,000. We are doing very good, people. And I am just getting started because I got a lot of other money for you on top of this. And this is in addition to the 4 stimulus checks. So you want to get this money because it is now increased 15% for 1 year because of the Trump 6-month executive order and the Biden 6-month executive order. All right. Throughout the last few days, coming up all this week and going into next week, until the deadline passes, you're going to hear an expression on the channel, which is new. Tough love. This is a tough love moment. What is the tough love moment? The tough love moment is that the money for rent, utilities, food, and money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance, I'm urging you to get it right now for several tough love reasons. Number one, this is the last ride at the rodeo. It will not be offered again. There's nowhere on the street that it's coming back under 4th stimulus or 5th stimulus. It is going away. Number two, it's first come, first serve. First come, first serve. These things run out very quickly. Number three, they have made all indication that the eviction moratorium and the mortgage forbearance that are currently in place and have been in place since last year are going away in September. So they want you to get this money for rent and utilities and homeowners assistance now because they're going to get rid of the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. You will not have that relief anymore in a few months. So that's that tough love moment. Get the money now. That's how we do on this channel. Guess what? I got more money for you. Next item. Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go to the next item. This is thousands of dollars. Where's it coming from? Your states. Automatic? Yes, this one's automatic. When is it coming from? When is it coming? It's coming progressively over the next few weeks, starting this week. Where and how much? Thousands of dollars. What's at issue? Let's go over the details. The Department of Labor, Marty Walsh, head of labor, former mayor of Boston, ordered states to return thousands of dollars to you that they had overpaid you by their error and asked you to return the money back to you. This is thousands of dollars. Let's analyze the situation right now. What's going on? So in this case, states had paid you excess sums of money because of computer malfeasance at their state offices. Their computers made a mistake and accidentally sent you extra thousands of dollars on unemployment benefits sometime in the last year. They then reached out to you and asked you to return that money back to them, and you did return the money back to them. Department of Labor has now stepped in. They said that was a mistake. You should not have been ordered to return the money back to them. They need to now return the money back to you. Wow, this is incredible, great news. So thousands of dollars are being returned back to unemployment recipients who are overpaid by their states and ordered to return back the money to them. This was not the fault of the citizen. It was the fault of the computer systems at the state unemployment offices. Great, incredible news. From your state to you automatically starting this week. All right, let's go to the next third item. Where is this coming from? The IRS, Department of Treasury, to you automatically in the mailbox and direct deposit this week. If it's in the mailbox, what you should look for? A white or beige envelope inside a beige check, written from either Department of Treasury or IRS. Should have in the subject line or the note line, refund. How much money? Thousands of dollars. Let's go over the details. Is this automatic? Yes. This first one is automatic. It is for single filers who filed a 2020 tax return, paid taxes on their 2020 unemployment to the federal government, and now the federal government is returning that money back to you. If you are watching this and you are a joint filer, you have a husband and wife, and you file joint tax returns, don't worry because you're called phase 2. and IRS confirms that your check is coming the end of this month, the last 2 weeks of this month. All right, so let's go over this incredible automatic money coming back from IRS. How much money and how much does it work? Let's show you what's going on. They're returning back from the federal government any taxes you paid to IRS already on your 2020 unemployment benefits that you did not have to pay. Remember, the first $10,200 is tax-free. So what are they doing? Here's an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefit in 2020. You filed a 2020 tax return. You paid a total $5,000 tax bill to the federal government, but of that, only $4,000 was taxes on the unemployment. They're returning $4,000 back to you, the taxes you paid on the unemployment this week. Incredible, great news. All right, ready for more tough love? It's starting right now. Tough love number 2. You have not filed a 2020 tax return, but you did take out for federal taxes each week when you got your unemployment benefits in 2020. You have something you need to do, and it needs to be done in just a few hours. Yes, we are pushing up on the deadline for your federal tax return to be filed, and let me go over the details for you. What's at issue? If you took out each week or any time during 2020 money for federal taxes from your unemployment assistance, you have to file a tax return to the IRS and request that money back. If you don't, you're not getting the money. It's not coming from your states. We're not talking about state taxes. We're talking about federal money you took out for federal taxes when receiving your unemployment benefits in 2020. So let's go over the details. What do you have to do? You have to file a tax return. You have to request that taxes back from the federal government. Let's give an example. Let's say your weekly benefits were $500 of unemployment benefits, and each week you took out $100 for federal taxes over 10 weeks. That's $1,000. You got to file that 2020 tax return right away in the next few days to request that money back. All right, now we go to the incredible great news about the children. Children ages 17 to 6 are getting $3,000 starting the month of July, prorated $250 a month. And then 5 to newborn, $3,600 starting the month of July for 1 year, prorated to $300 a month. If 2 events have occurred. 1, you made less than $75,000 2020 earnings, and 2, IRS knows the child exists, which then triggers not 1, not 2, but 3 tough love moments starting right now. The first tough love moment is you don't file tax returns ever, and you have children that are within this age bracket. You need to file the tax return. Here's an example. You have 3 children, ages 2, 3, and 4. Guess what? You're going to be qualified for nearly $10,000 starting in the month of July, prorated. But if you never file a tax return, you're getting 0. Here's a tough love moment. If you don't have to file tax returns, that's different than the situation right now. And what I want you to do is look at me very clear in the eye right now, because this is one of the messages I've been hitting very hard on over the last few days. There's a difference between a person who doesn't have to file a tax return because you don't make enough money, or doesn't have to file a tax return because you're on SSI or SSDI. That's you. That's your obligation. But if you're sitting back and you have these children and you're entitled to get this money, you are categorically 100%, triple underlined, not getting a penny for those children if you have not filed that tax return before or any other way an IRS doesn't know those children exist. You categorically have to file that tax return if you have not done anything previously to alert IRS to the existence of those children. So you need to get that tax return on file ASAP. Tough love number 2. This is a little bit different. You do file tax returns every year. But for some reason, you have not been listening to that child. Maybe the child was on someone else's tax return. Maybe the child was just born in the last year. You need to file that 2020 tax return in the next few days immediately, because its deadline is looming, to declare that child as your dependent to ensure you get that money for that child. And tough love number 3, a rare situation, but I still have to mention it. This is where you made a lot of money in 2019 so that you are not eligible for this income threshold. But in 2020, you didn't make a lot of money, and now you are within the universe of this income threshold to get this money for the children. You have to file the 2020 tax return. Why? Because IRS is going to go off of the 2019 tax return and say, oh, you didn't make enough, you made way too much money in 2019. We're not paying you this money for the children. Until they see the 2020 tax return, they're not going to fix it. And here's what you need to know. There is one last major tough love moment, and I think you know which this tough love one is. Missing stimulus checks. If you're missing a first stimulus check, a second stimulus check, a third stimulus check, a member of the household, your daughter got hers, but not your son, you need to do that on the 2020 tax return. So now if you had that pen and paper throughout this broadcast, you've been probably taking notes. Oh, I got to fix this. Oh, I got to fix this. Make that a list of all those items you have to tell that tax preparer and go to that tax preparer immediately and get that tax return on file. Here's what you need to know. If I've been talking too fast, you can always play back this video at the bottom with a toggle screen after it archives on the channel, right after debuts or premieres. Number 2, the fact that you're watching me now is great news. It's really great news because you know that the deadline has not passed. The deadline is still ahead of us. It has not passed and you can fix it. But I deeply, deeply worry about people who tune into YouTubers on other channels who absolutely telling incorrect information and telling people to just sit back and wait for July. Wait for July and the check will come in July. And then the check doesn't come. And then in July, it is too late, categorically 100%, too late to fix the situation. You're not going to get paid in July. You'll miss out if you have 5, 4, and 3-year-olds in the house. You'll miss out on a $10,000 payment because you watched a YouTuber who told you to just sit back and do nothing. Don't do nothing. Except, stay with me. Because I'll be back in 60 seconds. I'll be back after this commercial break. But first, here's a little bit about the community page that can help you get rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. They do not provide tax assistance. They do not do your tax returns. They cannot provide you any tax help across the board, but they can help you get rent, utilities, and food across the board. Reach out to them. They're in the pinned comment, news.lalate.com/community. Look for that word community in the pinned comment to this video, also in the description to this video. And I'll be back in 60 seconds with big updates about your fifth stimulus, and the breaking news today that impacted them. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. It's a big night of evenings at LA with incredible great news about your 4th stimulus check of 2021. Today, I have incredible great news. What happened on Wall Street and its impact on your stimulus. Also, what's going on with 5th stimulus. Big updates across the board. I'm so excited you joined me. But first, this is LALATE. Make sure you subscribe. A 24 hours a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Coming up after this show, I believe, is some more sirloin. I think I've seen him somewhere. So I think there's some more sirloin coming up. And then that new hit show, Crypto Nights. I'll be going over the latest crypto news tonight as well. Crypto before sirloin, and then we go into the overnight live feed. The Clubhouse, the Purple Power Clubhouse, every night here. Tonight it might be a Shiba feed. So make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's cut back to 4th stimulus and let's go over why the president was perhaps shocked, if he did not internally show it, as today's financial news. Today's financial news does not directly impact your 4th stimulus, but 4th stimulus checks, but it does impact 4th stimulus. What I've been telling viewers across the board over the last few days is that 4th stimulus, other stimulus items. And other stimulus instruments are different than the stimulus checks. You have the stimulus checks here, which are a great payout, a great instrument, a great help for American citizens. Then you have other stimulus items like FPUC, which is that $300 add-on. FPUC's death is slowly becoming upon us. FPUC is slated to end in September. But now I've been telling you over several days that a lot of red states, I expect nearly all the red states where the governors are Republican, are going to end FPUC months earlier. Every few hours, someone tweets me another state. My state just ended FPUC. What's going on? Yes. So I want you to understand what's going on. That was the result of Friday's jobs numbers, which showed that there were jobs available and Americans were not taking jobs. The culprit, FPUC, was taking the blame, not the stimulus checks. So this is great news for your stimulus checks. I also want you to understand what's going on today about another economic number. And this is actually support for fourth stimulus and extremely good support for fifth stimulus. It was the Consumer Price Index number. I report this once a month. There's the CPI and the PPI. And the Consumer Price Index shows you how much food, gas, items cost. Let's look at what happened to this number. Wall Street is expecting that the cost of goods was going to go up about 3.6% the month before compared to the month before. It came in 4.2% higher. This is an astronomical price rise across the board. It's the highest price rise for goods since 2018. This means, basically, you go out and buy goods, they went up a lot. And they went up a lot more than Wall Street expected. And the highest it went up since 2020. In fact, some of the numbers were just absolutely out of control. Car and truck prices went up 21%. Shelter went up 2.1%. Energy prices went up 25%. And gasoline went up 37%. That's before the next number I have to give you. The president's also dealing with another economic number which could impact your stimulus. Again, not your stimulus checks, but your other stimulus, and that is the gas problem. The gas problem, because the Colonial Pipeline has now surged gasoline prices on average across the country $3. If you were alive during the Jimmy Carter years, you know how not controlling gas prices could absolutely implode an economy. Gasoline and housing are two of those parts of the segment, two of those parts of the economy. You don't want everything to ever go wrong because it can completely derail it. Currently, North Carolina, South Carolina are at 24% of all stations are empty. 13% are empty in South Carolina. Georgia, 15% of stations are out of gas, and 60% of stations in Atlanta are out of gasoline. So this means that could impact other stimulus items. But at the moment, it does not detract and potentially does support for stimulus. Because guess what? If you're having problems getting gasoline, if you have to drive 10 more miles to get gasoline, then obviously you need a stimulus check. I mean, it's about as simple as we can see. Now, let's go back to those House plans and Senate plans. What's important to understand is that House plans and Senate plans have a different approach to the idea. The Senate plan is to provide you a lot more money to get you caught up in your bills right now, so you're put back to whole as quickly as possible. Whereas the House plan is to provide you money over a longer duration to keep you sustained by the federal government over a year to come. Viewers potentially like the Senate plan over the House plan generally if they want more money to get caught up on their bills right now and to be put hold sooner rather than later. Other viewers prefer the House plan because they think it's more sustainable over a long period of time. But here's why you should be really excited from the president's messaging across the board. The corporate tax rate. The president was absolutely incredible on Friday, on Monday, and on Tuesday about one message before that one. His message, get it done. Get it done. He continually went out as the largest proponent of the Democratic Party, as the leader of the Democratic Party, urging his caucus to get forced stimulus done. Get it done, he said. He's speaking only to the Democrats because that two-bill, 2-month, two-step process to get the forced stimulus check to the finish line. And he wants it done sooner rather than later. He also said the same thing about fifth stimulus in just a second. But what's important to understand is buried in that messaging in the last week was his incredible deal-making. I'll come down on the corporate tax rate, he said. Wow, this is incredible, great news. Now, the corporate tax rate is currently 21%. The president proposes 28%. Moderate Democrats, their only resistance level so far to the forced stimulus has been the corporate tax rate. And the president made the deal. He made the deal saying, I'll come in at where you want it to be done. Let's just get it done. This is categorically incredible great news. In a week in which you've had violence in the Middle East with Gaza and Israel, you had the Colonial Pipeline gasoline problem in the Northeast, the president's messaging has really been commendable. Staying on point about forced stimulus, urging every few recordings that he delivers, whether a press conference or a tape broadcast, to get forced stimulus done. It's incredible great news. Now with that, let's go back to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall, and fifth stimulus is the best relief you've ever seen in the history of benefits in nearly 2 or 3 generations. The fifth stimulus heats up with a 2-bill, 2-step process that increases your benefits across the board. Let's go over the details. First, they would increase your benefits. Then they would remove the asset limitation. Then they would take away the inflationary benchmark. They add an inflationary benchmark. They would remove the marriage penalty and add and remove the income exclusion. Oh my goodness, this is incredible great news. Let's go over it right now. First, they would raise up your benefits to a big new number. This is you. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, senior benefits, survivor benefits, this is you. Ultimately, I'm a reporter. I'm just reporting what they represent. They write the laws. They vote on it. I'm not voting on it. If they change their minds, so be it. But that's what they're saying. Then they're going to tie your benefits to inflation. You already saw about that CPI number earlier in this broadcast. Yesterday, the head of the Federal Reserve Division out of St. Louis said he thinks 2.5% will be the inflation rate this fall, relatively high. So if inflation goes up, your benchmark of inflation will go up 2.5%, and your benefits will go up. Third, they're going to remove the asset cap. It dates back to a 1980s law that says some of you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand. They're going to get rid of it so you can keep stimulus checks on hand. Number 4, they're going to remove the income cap that dates back to a horribly antiquated 1960s law that says you can't work. If you want to work, you'll be able to work. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, they're going to choose a new item across the board and allow you to stay on benefits and still work. And finally, the marriage penalty. If you suffer for the marriage penalty, I'm sorry. If you want to get married and have not gotten married because of the marriage penalty, I'm sorry. But they're going to get rid of it so it will no longer impact your lives across the board. It's social relief, it's financial relief, and it's absolutely incredible relief for love. And with that, I appreciate all your love today on this channel. Stay with me because tonight on Evenings LA, we've had a whole suite of programming. We had Afternoons LA before this. We have Coin LA coming up tonight with live taped crypto coverage of the major movers and shakers in the cryptocurrency. You want to tune into that. I'm making the recordings simpler and easier for you to follow so that you can be informed, educated, have a lot of fun. They're fun shows with a lot of technical double screens, picture-in-picture. I make them fun and visually enhanced for you to enjoy. So jump in there. Same Purple Power family. And then we have potentially Sir Sim Lloyd. And finally, we go into the Purple Power Clubhouse, the overnight live broadcast of Shiba or whatever coin is trending that day. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, away we go. Senator House, which one did you like? Drop in the comments again. If you're watching it taped, drop in the comments below the video, or if you're in the live chat, Senator House. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay without